What do we have here? What we have here is a complete set of rainbow books. Good Girl Art Crime Digest sleeves from 1950s. They were published from 1951 to 1953 in digest size. And they're very collectible and very cool. Great, great cover art by Rodewald, by Gross, and by other famous illustrators. And we're going to take a look at them now. There's 30 books in the set. They number from 101 to 130. They're digest, as I said, from 1951 to 53. They're published by Rainbow Books out of New York. There's 10 books by Norman Daniels in this set. He also wrote as David Wade, Mark Reed, and Norma Dan. There's one, number 121, which is by Lionel White, which is an incredible hard crime noir book. And there's number 109, Her Candle Burns Hot, which is a very expensive collectible book. But otherwise, all of these are nice shape. They're collectible and very cool books. So we're going to start off the run with the first book in the series, number 101, Thrill Girl by Jean Harvey. The interesting thing about this is that this was the first book also in the exotic book series of digest, which came out about the same time, pretty much from the same publishers. The exotic edition is Thrill Girl by Jean Harvey, but has different cover art. And that's the first book in the exotic series. Then later on, the Rainbow Books came out with their series, and the first book, number 101, which is this one, Thrill Girl, James Harvey. Different cover art and different design and everything, but it's like really cool.
Now, I know we touched on it before, but maybe some people don't know. So I know you said there are 30 books, and the first book starts at 101. Do you want to explain why they would start a book at 101 and not 1?
Yes, I would like to explain why they started. You know why? Because vintage paperback publishers, especially from the lower end of the spectrum, they just did whatever the heck they wanted to do. The legitimate major publishers usually would start off with numbering their books number 1. But other publishers would start off with 101 or 201 or 500 because people that were buying these books didn't know the history of the publishing company. So they would assume, well, if this is Rainbow Book number 101, then there must have been 100 before this, and there must be a whole lot of them. Phantom Books, the digest series, starts off with number 500. So were there 499 before that? No, there weren't. Okay? Interesting. I mean, there's a lot of publishers that do that. And even legitimate publishers, big collectible publishers that like Gold Medal Books started off with number 99, which had no number, and then with number 100 and 101, and they continued that way. But there were not any from number 1 to 98 in the Gold Medal series. So publishers started off the series basically, I think, to make it look like they were a longer running outfit, a more stable, outfit that's been around for years. So the prospective book buyer, they're kind of misleading them. They're kind of doing a little misleading thing. But that's what they did. They wanted to show that. I mean, you know what? I should have started publishing Paperback Parade at number 100.
You should have.
Now, I started with issue number 1.
Number 250.
Yeah, I started Paperback Parade at issue number 1 in 1986. So I should have started at number 100. And the latest issue that just came out is number 124. So I published 124 issues of Paperback Parade each in order. I should have started it with 100.
Oh.
Your way of thinking. But anyway, that's off the point. But that's the thing that, especially with the lower end paperback publishers and the digest publishers, they did that. They kind of tried to trick the reader, the book buyer, that this was a well-established series, a well-established publisher, and you could count on them to deliver the goods, so to speak. So anyway, enough of that babbling. So this is number 101, Thrill Girl. Number 102 is Reno Tramp, Florence Stonebreaker. She wrote as Thomas Stone. She did a lot of sleeves, paperbacks, really nice stuff. She's a good writer too. Number 103 is Wild is the Woman by Laura Hale. This might be, I'm not sure, but it might be a pseudonym of Norman Daniels. He wrote a lot of books in this series, at least 10. Next one is Moment of Rapture by John Balmer. And all of these books, they're illustrated with photos. If I could find them, of course, now I can't find them. So they had these kind of model photos in them. Some of them had a lot of photos. Some of them, apparently, like this one, didn't have very many. Is that Lila?
Yes, it is.
That's Lila Lynn. Okay, I did a previous video on her and her appearance in Exotic Books, which is another similar, like a sister series to these Rainbow books.
Do you want to touch on the posed professional models thing too?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's might be interesting.
We meant to do that in the last.
Yeah, we didn't do that. So a lot of these books, the digests and even the sleeves paperbacks in the 60s, they would always have the little notice under the picture of a woman posed by a professional model, because first of all, they wanted everybody to know that it was a model photo. It wasn't just something that they just took at random somewhere. But there was a problem with the Diversity Digest, and I think it was 1949 or 1950, Reform School Girl by Felice Swados. And that was, it had they used a photo of a girl, 17-year-old girl, who was an ice skating champion. And she's on her ice skates skating. And so they used that photo of her on the cover of that book, Reform School Girl. So that was, it's not a big deal. She was a paid model and all of that. But there was a thing with the father of the girl got very upset, because he says, you're putting my picture of my daughter on this cover of this book about a reform school girl. She's not a reform school girl. She's not a criminal. She's not, she's a good girl, and blah, blah, blah. And he, I think he brought suit against Avon, and it's because of that. And the result was that there had to be a insert into the digest later on that said that this was explained kind of the situation, that it was a model. She was a model, and she has no bearing, no relation or anything to this story. And that's where a lot of times you see in movies and things too, where they say this story of this movie is not based on anybody. The names and characters in this movie or in this book have nothing to do with, they're just
right. It's fictional. Any resemblance to real life is accidental.
Right. Any resemblance to any real life person is purely coincidental, and that's all. So that's what they would do, and they would say that the books were posed by professional models. These digests have lots of black and white photos in them, and these were photos that were taken by the artists themselves, and they would usually do a run of photos, a photo shoot, maybe as many as 50 or 100 photos, and pick the best couple of them that they would use for a cover. Then the ones that were left over, they would just use if they had space in the book, because they were filling out books of 100 and whatever pages they were, 128 or something. And depending on how long the story was, you'd have, okay, we got 10 pages, if you have a 128-page book and you only got 118 pages of text, what are you going to do? So you got to fill it out. And since it's a sexy digest, you fill it out with sexy photos. Fill it out with the photos from the photo shoot, and that's what they would do. They'd add extra photos in the book. And of course, they'd say it's posed by professional models to alleviate any problem with that kind of situation. And now that we move on, we're going to look at number 105, Four Dames Named Sin. And this is signed, the artist is signed, I can't make out the signature. Can you make out the signature? It's not Rodewald. I don't know what it is. I've never seen that signature before.
Yeah, it's Rodewald.
It is Rodewald?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought so,
No,
but it doesn't look exactly. It doesn't look exactly like it.
Rudy Nappy.
Is it Nappy?
Yeah, Rudy Nappy. He put first and last.
Oh, that's so. Okay.
Usually, I don't know why I did that. Just Nappy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, should have known by the eyebrows.
So that's Rudy Nappy. Okay. Number 106 is Nora's No Angel by Tom Stone. That's Florence Stonebreaker, and this is a Gross cover, or George Gross cover, and it's signed somewhere down here.
Gross.
That's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's very gross. Number 107 is Street of Dark Desires by Mark Reed. And Mark Reed is Norman Daniels. Norman Daniels, a classic pulpster, very collectible author. Wrote a lot of in the pulps and in the paperbacks.
It's Jack's brother.
Jack Daniels. I knew Jack Daniels back in the day. Anyway, number 108, Passion Has Red Lips by R.R. McCollum. Nice cover, nice cover. I'm going to show you some of the back covers of some of these. They're all had the, a little bit about the book. They had a small insert photo of one of the models.
Best at exotic fiction.
Exotic fiction. Another great title, Her Candle Burns Hot by Hoge Evans, number 109. That's funny because, like, for a long time, very collectible author was Ed McBain, who wrote Evan Hunter, who wrote as Ed McBain, and under other names. He also wrote a book as Hoge Evans. And for a long time, people thought that the books written by Hoge Evans, E-V-E-N-S, were rare, kind of scarce Evan Hunter books or Ed McBain books, but they are definitely not. That was a different author altogether. But he did write one book as Hoge Evans, E-V-A-N-S. Next one is 110, Sleepy Time Honey. Nice title by Catherine Culver. Another great one. All these covers on these are just terrific. Number 111, Walk the Evil Streets by David Wade. Hard-Boiled Crime by Norman Daniels. Look at the guy's face. It's like just it's a demonic face. And the girl, like, her hands on her hips, her back to him, cigarette in the mouth. It's classic hard-boiled. And you see every one of these girls got the cigarette. There's the cigarettes in every, I think
Just
in
about.
every
Yeah,
cover. She's got a cigarette,
Yeah.
cigarette. Okay, watch it. Another one. Red-Headed Wench by Tom Stone, Florence Stonebreaker, number 112. Red-Headed Wench. Yeah, she's got a cigarette in her mouth too. He's got a gun in his hand. I guess that's right. And there's another guy over here.
Peeping Tom.
Yeah. Number.
It's hard to see the numbers.
Yeah, number 113. Play Rough by Rick Wayne. Another hot babe with a cigarette in her hand, a hand on her hips, a guy with a cigarette in his mouth. A lot of smoking going on in those days. Great title here, Tease the Wild Flame by Mark Reed. And that's also Norman Daniels. A lot of these are by, these cover art is by George Gross, but I'm not sure on these who did the cover art. Some of them aren't, the cover art isn't signed. Some of it's very clearly signed, so those you can see. Number 115, Carnival of Passion by Val Monroe, a Carney book, and this is a George Gross cover, and his signature is plainly visible there. Should I move these or no? No? Okay. Next one is 116, She Walks by Night by David Wade. How would you feel if one morning you woke up to discover two things? One, your wife was dead. Two, she had been a prostitute. That's not good. That's She Walks by Night. It's like a good horror title too. Another great one. Great title, great cover. Bedroom in Hell by Norman Daniels. He put his name on this one. This is a good crime one. Also, George Gross did the cover. There's a signature. It's a great title. She's got a cigarette, and she's the only one that doesn't have a cigarette. Kiss of Fire by Laura Hale is number 118. Another Norman Daniels. Number 119 is Joyride by Roger Treat. It's a war book. Don't know who this author was. The Nude Stranger by Mark Reed, number 120. An absorbing novel for readers who like their murders served up hot with plenty of sizzling action and juicy romance. And it's by Mark Reed. That's by Norman Daniels, another hard-boiled crime novel. So there's quite a few hard-boiled crime novels in this series, and this is one of the best ones ever. This is number 121. Seven Hungry Men by Lionel White. And this is an incredible book. This is a scene from the book. I read the book. Lionel White was a classic caper crime writer. He wrote stories about guys getting together to do criminal, do crimes, like the robbing the Louvre or robbing like a famous Brinks truck or something like this. This is Lila Lynn, the famous model. The African-American fellow is a character in the book, and this is one of the few digests where you have African-American, a prominent African-American on the cover. Sometimes I'll put them in where you can't tell, or it's like kind of ambiguous, or they'll put a black man or woman who's lighter skin where you can't tell. Not that it matters, but in those days, it was something that they. Here he's very obviously an African-American fellow.
It's a great cover.
Great cover, great book. But more than that, it is a great book. And this is a scene from the book. When she goes into the room to talk to him, and she's guzzling booze, and he's drunk, and wants to stab her, and it's like, he's one of the 7 guys in this gang that's going to do this big heist. And she's like the gal that they're all interested in, and she's like tempting everybody, playing everybody against everybody else. This is a hell of a good book. And the interesting thing about this book, I did a video on this book, because Lionel White, who was a tremendous author, tremendously talented, he rewrote this book later on for Avon Books. It was reprinted, but he wrote an alternate ending for that book, which had a different title. It was called Run, Killer, Run, published by Avon Books by Lionel White. It has a different ending than this one, this edition does, Seven Hungry Men. So they're actually, two different books. But both of them, I mean, I've read both of them. They're incredible. It's an incredible caper novel. I mean, it's just good crime. It's juicy, man. It's really good. So that's an unacknowledged classic. The next one is number 122, The Madam Who Blushed by Terry O.K. Burleson. 6 dames wanted Johnny, but 5 wanted him dead. Typical bad girl. Well, she doesn't have a cigarette.
She has a pack of cigarettes right beside her.
Oh, well, she's ready, yeah, okay. But see, she's not smoking. Chris would like her.
He is, yeah.
My friend Chris Eckhoff, he did not like women who smoke cigarettes
on
covers of books.
Pictures of women who smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. Next one is Vice Cop by Mark Reed, another Norman Daniel pseudonym. It's a Johnny Murdoch crime novel. And this is like a different kind of look. This is a beefcake cover, the guy showing his chest and the girl. So it's like kind of a little different aspect, I guess you could say. Number 124, Bedroom with a View. So the other one was Bedroom in Hell, I think. And this one's Bedroom with a View by David Wade. It's also Norman Daniels. And this is a George Gross cover.
I think they're wearing the same blouse in a different color.
Yeah. This was a famous blouse.
Yeah, they love that blouse.
All the models would wear. That
it peasant, could fall off easy.
Peasant.
They had trouble keeping it on.
Yeah, peasant blouse, I think they call them. Number 125, Tender-Hearted Harlot by Val Monroe. And this is a Harry Barton cover. I think it's signed down there. Very nice. Number 126, She-Devil by Robert Turner. Robert Turner was another crime author and an editor also. He was very good. Number 127, The Big Woman by Mel Colton. A brand new novel of passion and intrigue. The nights in Panama are hot and dangerous, just like the women. And this is The Big Woman, another hard-boiled crime novel. Number 128 is The Twist by Norma Dan. 2 dangerous men, 2 lovely women in the deadly game of change your partners. A brand new, unexpurgated, and uncensored novel by Norma Dan, or by Norman Daniels. Number 129, Only Human by David Wade. Kind of rural country noir. All of these are hard-boiled. All of these have crime elements in them, more than sleaze, but they're definitely sleaze, and they have definitely great, good girl art. And the last one, number 130, is Off Limits by George Botari. Really cool cover. Another kind of Carney-inspired cover art. So there you have it, the 30 books in the Rainbow Book series of classic good girl art, sleaze, crime, and noir. Hope you enjoyed this look at this wonderful series of books, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for looking.